Welcome, everyone. I'm Boris from Boredom Sated.
I'm Michael from Boredom Stated.
And today we're continuing our series on how to create a character in Pathfinder 2E from Legends and Myths. And we are doing Robin Hood.
Robin the Hood, Robin Oxley. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the Merry Man in Tight.
Yes. Man in
Yes. So as always, we didn't tell each other how we just created what we thought the representation of the character would be in Pathfinder 2e, trying to bring him as closely to what we imagined, from different myths, legend, movies, books, all of that. So when I created him, he's definitely human. I definitely have a noble background, and I made him a ranger. And how about you?
I made him a fighter in this regard.
Oh, okay.
Not so woodsy.
Not so woodsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's begin. Well,
Oh,
with him
well,
being a yeah.
one second. Why did you make yours a ranger? And
Why
why?
did I make a ranger? Well, again, it's just like you said, because throughout all the movies and all the mythologies, he is able to avoid um, the sheriff Nottingham in the woods, in the forest.
Yeah.
That's where he feels the most comfortable with.
Yeah.
He hides out, and so a ranger is the best feat for that, especially with him using the bow, as his primary weapon and
Yeah.
doing all the trick shots. And it was the only way you can figure out that it is him
Okay.
by the way he shoots the bow.
I did mine more fighter like because I take it a little bit from, and forgive me for those who liked or didn't like this movie. Uh, his the fact that not the fact one interpretation of who he originally was supposedly a minor noble or noble. That's why it's Robin of Locksley, that he actually was of a noble house, so
Yeah,
he'd be trained more like a fighter type. I obviously steered away from champion because he's never in like plain armor, but he might have been on crusades. And then also there was another one, the one with Russell Crowe. He also was Robin Hood as well in a relatively
right,
recent movie. And when he came back, then he already was good with the bow before, but I went with fighter simply because he, I felt it fit his background more. I mean, he could have you could do it where he was a fighter originally and then went to the archetype of ranger. I mean, I went through several different builds in my mind in that regard, but I just
right.
simply went fighter with both feats really.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah,
the interesting part is the different interpretations.
yeah,
So we'll begin with level one. So I took the hunted shot again, going for the bow,
yeah.
um, letting him uh, use one action to shoot twice. Then I went with versatile heritage to give him experience tracker for that woodsy uh, uh, idea. Then I gave him natural ambition and twin takedown because I do agree that he's not just bow. He does know how to fence and all that.
Yeah.
So giving him that extra first level feat to allow him to be a little bit of a two weapon wielder fence type of person.
Okay. I went initially for natural ambition as well,
Right.
but I also that's one of the best feats to start
Right.
with. But as far as fighter goes, point blank shot because that allows you to. Now in the Pathfinder game, when you have a composite bows, they have a volley function, which basically allows you to add your strength or half your strength bonus to the damage.
Right.
And then of course there's, but if you try and use it within the first range increment, you take a -2 to hit.
Right.
What this feat allows you to basically say, no, I don't take a penalty.
Right.
And if you have a bow, which I think he probably would, that would just be a regular longbow.
Right.
Um, if it doesn't have volley, which regular longbow doesn't have, within the first range increment, you get a +2 to hit. So I'm thinking, all right, that's
Right.
probably a good thing for him to start with, especially uh, when people get too close.
Right. And for the Hunter's Edge, I went with Precision, which gives him an extra die of damage as long as it's his prey. So with the two attacks in one round and the Hunter, I mean, you can pretty much take down most first level creatures very quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for second level, what'd you take for the class feat?
Assisted shot. I basically took almost every single bow
Uh,
feat because there's at least one for every single level for a lot, quite a few levels.
right. And I took Hunter's Aim, which for two actions um, gives you a +2 bonus to your attack. Um, Now the interesting. Let's talk about the skills for just a second,
Sure.
because I think unlike in some of the others, I think skills really need to be within the realm because he really showed a great deal of skill sets that are not related to the class feats. And I thought that his primary skill should definitely be survival
Yes.
and deception because he was and the reason deception is because he always hid himself and always used disguises, and the only way they could tell it was him is through the use of the bow. I mean, the whole point
True.
is, you know,
Are you
we,
talking about the legendary splitting an arrow in two?
yeah, well, yeah, that only he can do it. Otherwise, we'll never figure out that it's him because
Listen. I remember that the Disney animated one with the fox, and I'm sorry that disguise was terrible. That disguise could fool anybody. You can have
I will concede that
drunk the night before.
I will concede that in the Disney Fox version, the disguise was horrendous, or it was so good, or he's a legendary in deception, and it was so good that they couldn't.
I'll say a combination. They both are terrible at spotting things, and he's really
Right.
that. All right.
So, but based on that, what did you do with the skill set? Because it is important for him.
Oh yes. I went with for survival is definitely one of his top choices, obviously. I went with stealth as well. Um, and I went with not so much the deception. I went with athletics, simply because, again, if he's going around trees, I assume he's also um, making a lot of preparation, climbing up trees to get the perfect shot, uh, building networks inside the Sherwood forests,
Right.
and just something athletics in this one is all about not just climbing and swimming, but also moving about. And you're going to have to be a master climber in Sherwood Forest to really make it work for you. I mean, yes, you could
No,
start on trees,
yeah.
but you can. I mean, I mean, I'm thinking him going all predator on people. Going from tree to tree and then having lines he prepares ahead of time. So one like 5 men can ambush 20 or 30 and succeed.
Right. No, that makes sense. It's just how you view them.
Yeah.
So, did you have anything at third other than the general feed that was added, or can we skip to fourth?
Yeah, go skip to fourth. That gave him tough. But certain things that I would take for any class were like toughness and die hard whenever I could if I really didn't think he was that tough. But okay, let's go to 4.
Yep. So I took a far shot, which doubles your weapons range increments, which is really good with the bow.
Yeah, I put double shot. That's basically saying he takes a somewhat of a penalty to get 2 shots off against 2 people. And when you get to high levels, you can take both shots against 1 person. But initially, if he has a couple people, you can shoot 2 of them and perhaps make that's another skill probably should add as well. Intimidation. You can shoot after that and say, "Ha ha! You really want to chase me? I'll shoot it all down."
Yes, definitely.
Perfect time. Errol Flynn smile.
The Aaron Flynn, yes. So I'm going to skip fifth because there's not a class feat.
Yeah.
And at six, I took the snapshot. Um, you learn to react with ranged weapons when creatures is in close quarters. You can use a reaction that normally allows you to make a melee weapon strike to instead make a range strike.
Those are really nice feats
Yeah.
that the fighter doesn't have right now. But I took
Yep.
sixth level. I took triple shot just because of that much level of. Um, again, this is something perfect for if you're fighting a group of jabrones or whatever of the king's guard that are chasing you down, and you're off your horse, and you basically say, "Here's three shots into three of you," and even if they don't kill them, they're like, "Holy crap! You can shoot three shots."
Right.
And yeah,
And
and you can also make
yeah.
them against the same target, which is just wait, hold on. You can use the double shot against one target now. Before you for double shot, you had to use it against two targets. In this one, you can
Right.
take a double shot. You got to the level where you can take two shots at one person now, or three shots against three different people. So I was
Right.
like, oh. Eventually, it gets more powerful as you keep going up the tree. So you can
Right.
take three shots against one person and really make their day
Miserable. Yeah.
miserable. Make them pin.
Yes. So I'm going to skip seventh, going to eighth. I took Deadly Aim, which now aiming uh, make a range against your hunted prey at a -2 penalties, you gain more damage. So uh, because that's again goes in line with the bow skills. So if you take a small penalty, you get significant more damage per strike.
Yeah, I got uh, eighth 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 level feat was incredible aim. This is a two action attack, and it gives you a +2 to hit, and it completely ignores concealment. So
Right.
you can hide. Well, unless you're invisible, but you still there's no uh not stealth. You can't. I don't think you can get past cover. Was it concealment?
Right.
No, I forget what concealment and cover are the same thing. I don't think so. But still,
Right.
ignore the
Now,
answer.
yeah.
Oh, it's due
Now,
to things like weather, like say weather and bad condition. That's why.
right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think I took a similar feat later on. But at 10th level, I think I took one of the best feats, and this is just for this feat with a bow, it is why you really become a ranger, in my point of view, for this.
Shoot.
It's penetrating shot.
Okay.
For two actions,
Oh,
you shoot. So if there's somebody intervening between
yeah.
you and your target, so for two actions, you roll one to hit. If you hit both of them, they take the damage from the shot. Both of them take the damage from the shot.
You
So
ever
you
get
literally shot through somebody into the guy behind them.
armor pierce? Wow, that's really
Uh,
impressive. That's really impressive. My
yeah.
10th level is not as impressive, but it's still interesting. It's called Debilitating Shot. It's a two action attack. Basically, it says it's aiming for a weak point. You impede your foe with a precise shot. You make a regular ranged weapon at strike. If it hits and deals damage, they're slowed.
Right.
That's all it is. So
Um,
that's kind of not great, but that was the bow one, and it still seemed decent enough that slowing the person down for action is not bad. And you keep
right.
going at it if you
Right.
add some
Now,
other stuff to it.
now the 12th level
Yeah.
is where it makes the penetrating shots even more deadly
Okay.
because now at 12th level what I took was double prey, so you can have two preys as your target because if somebody's your prey you get an extra to hit bonus and to damage bonus. So
Okay.
now and it doesn't take an action, so you can use this with the penetrating shots, so
Yeah.
you hit both for a ridiculous amount of damage and nobody's happy.
Nobody's had. Well, they're both prey. Okay. That's
Yeah.
really awesome. My 12th level is more of the from the Errol Flynn school of bowmanship. Definitely more panache. It's called Incredible Ricochet. You had to have incredible aim as the prerequisite. And let's see. This is a press, which basically means it's something that's shot after the first shot. You can't use it as the
Right.
first shot in your turn. It's the second shot or third shot. And basically says after your first shot singles out your opponent's position, you direct that ricochets around obstacles and strikes unerringly. Make a ranged strike against a creature you previously attacked this turn. You you now this one ignores all conceal and all covers, so there's nowhere to
Right.
hide at all. But this
And
arrow
what is
flint
it called?
shot, it
It's
bounces. You
called
bounce off walls.
yeah, yeah, and it's yeah because at the next level now at 14th, I
Yeah.
took the same thing. It's called, but for rangers, it's called targeting shot,
Okay.
and you don't have to use your first shot. It's any shot. If your prey is behind an obstacle, you ignore target conceal condition and all cover.
Oh, okay. Hmm. All right.
So it's similar.
All right. That's the what? The 14th level or 12th?
That's at 14th level
Okay.
though.
My 14th level.
Whereas you have that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My 14th level one is the first non-bow feat picked. It's called Determination. It's a once a day use, and you're basically shrugging off a spell or condition. Basically, you actually make you choose a spell that's targeting you. Choose a single non-permanent spell or condition that's affecting you. Um, if you choose a condition, its effects on you end. So that's great. It's immediately like, oh, hey, frightened's gone, slow sickness is gone. If it's a condition, doomed
Right.
on. I mean, drained. That's freaking awesome. If it's a spell,
That is good.
yeah, it's automatic. It's once a day, but heck, it's that you say for the boss or
Right.
someone else. And if you
Now,
spell,
yeah,
you can counteract it. Equal to the counteract is a lot weaker. It's like your counteract level is equal to half your level rounded up.
yeah.
But yeah,
Now, you said you stopped at 15th. You really
yeah,
thought Robin Hood would
yeah.
be, yeah. I did go through all the
Go ahead, keep going.
20.
Let's see what you got. See,
So at 16th, I went with Warden's Guidance, so you can tell your allies where your prey is. So, in
okay,
other words, when they do an ambush, if the prey is hiding or in cover, your allies now can avoid some of that aspect. Not
okay,
all of it, but depending on what your allies roll.
okay,
If they didn't fail or critical fail, they gain the benefit as if it's the prey for them too.
okay. All right.
So it's not that bad.
So what was your
Um,
eighth one?
18th, I took Impossible Volley,
Yeah,
which is
you
similar
gotta
to yeah, which is pretty much the same as yours, but you get it at a lower level.
are you sure? Yours is much better. Yours is Impossible Wall is like that's an open. That's one that you can. I remember this one from fifth edition or something similar to that. You hit everything in a. You get take a shot at everything in a
Yeah, this is just
target.
within 10 foot radius. It's not that
Yeah,
great. Yeah, yeah.
that's not bad. I mean, think about how many
No,
10,
no.
10 foot for
Yeah,
one.
10 foot radius.
So that's
Yeah, if they're in army formation, yes.
that's about eight total square. Wait, eight total shots. Like
No,
four,
that's 1, 2,
16.
3, 4,
It's 16.
5, 6, 7,
16,
8.
16 targets.
Yeah, yeah. But
16.
if they're in an army formation, how
You'll be
often
out of
does that
arrows.
happen?
Like you can only
Yeah.
maybe once or twice, and if you have enough arrows on you, you'll be out.
Yes.
But
And
still,
for
see, that's the one that's the arrow Flynn version. I was like, see, I've got more arrows.
yes.
I don't need an army. I have.
Uh, and for 20th level, I took legendary shot. So which pretty much you don't uh, you don't face any penalties up to 5 range increments, and because you have
Wow,
the far shot, which doubles your range increments, you're looking at 1,000 feet with no penalty.
that's just that's just ridiculous.
Sniper? Who needs a sniper scope?
It even says that you're accounting for air resistance, wind,
Yeah,
the wind. Ah, like what
right.
the heck?
So, yep. So,
Some of the most impressive shots. All right.
right.
Yeah, but Robin Hood's like one of my favorite characters of all time, and yeah, he's one of those things that like Spartacus, he inspires. because of what he was more than who he was.
Yep.
Because there's obviously it's one of those legends like King Arthur's. Like, did he exist? Did he not exist? Was he based on the historical? Or was just simply a folklore?
Right.
But that is
Whereas,
our versions, two versions of Robin the Hood.
yes. So
Please,
please let us know in the subscribe, hit the little bell so you can see when our other videos come in. Let us know what you think of it, how you would change it. Remember, it's always difficult because you're limited in the number of feats and all that. But tell us why you think our versions are good or bad in the comments. And I'm Boris from Boredom Sated.
I'm Michael from Boredom Sated.
Good evening.